What up, Canes family? What up? Now, as you guys know, man, I just played that Chris Brown for y'all. It's called Winners. It's called Winner. Now I know some of y'all think y'all too tough for some R&B music. Some of y'all think y'all too macho for some R&B music. But it's called Winner. It's called Winner. You know, like Miami last night, we the winners. Now for all you Seminole haters, all you Gator haters that stayed up last night wishing and praying on our downfall, I hope you had to go to work at 5 a.m. this morning. God know most of y'all stayed up all the way through that game, wishing and praying we lost. And for those of y'all that went to bed early, I hope you woke up this morning and you saw that score and it ruined your day. Florida State fans, Gator fans that stayed up praying that Miami lose last night, I hope when you get to work today, the coffee machine didn't work. I hope there ain't no energy drink in the vending machine for y'all. I hope y'all stumble all day, wishing and praying on our downfall. Not the mighty Miami Hurricanes. Come on now. Come on now. 6-0, baby. Bowl eligible. Bowl eligible. We ain't eating no cereal out of no cup over here. Florida State, y'all 1-5, and y'all still online talking trash, praying on our downfall. Gator fans, y'all got a little measly little win yesterday against UCF, and y'all think y'all the man now. Y'all ain't the man. Y'all couldn't even score in the second half with your trash ass. Talking about, I seen some of y'all fans online talking about this the team we played in week one? If we played them now, no, Gator fans, if you played it, it would be the same result. Your team is still the same team. Your team is still trash. Garbage, pursuit, all that. That's why we 6-0. That's why y'all ain't. We fought back. We fought back. We got fight in us. Y'all will go to that hotel, lay down, and spread y'all legs. Stop playing with us, Canes, man. Stop playing with us. Now, Hurricane fans, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I wasn't too confident throughout that whole goddamn game, man. I got to be real with y'all. I was not too confident throughout that whole game. When we were down 25, I felt like we weren't moving fast enough. I felt like the clock was ticking down too fast. But back-to-back weeks, Cam Ward pulled it off. Back-to-back weeks, man. I got to admit, yesterday was a cardiac cane alert. Cardiac cane alert. I know a lot of our fans was on the edge of them seats. I know a lot of us probably were watching that game, standing up the whole fourth quarter. Wesley Basaint's non-targeting call. Thank God the referees didn't screw us on that one. Man, that's tough. All the Gator fans online talking about that was a target. The Florida State fans, they really don't even care right now because Dabo just made history on them. Dabo just became the most winningest coach in the ACC. Passing Bobby Bowden. And not only did he did so, he did that shit in Tallahassee. He did that shit in Tallahassee. Passed up Bobby Bowden as the winningest coach in the ACC, and he did that in Tallahassee. Man, that's tough. God dang, Seminole. Where's the pride? Where's the pride? This whole season, wins it. Dubs up in Tallahassee is buy 5, get 1 free. Buy 5, get 1 free. Man, that's tough. Cal really let Florida State beat them. Man, that's tough. Man, that's tough. Cal fans, y'all are despicable. Y'all are dirty. Y'all are trash. Y'all are just as advertised. You woke folks, you liberal mother, y'all some. Ooh, I know y'all seen the videos of them throwing trash at our players after they lost. Y'all been up all game. Y'all been talking all that trash. And then all of a sudden, y'all want to throw trash because you lost? Y'all want to throw trash at our players because you lost? All game, y'all been throwing up the Cam Ward, the Cam Ward little signal that he be doing. Put them hand over the mouth and wave the hand. Y'all been doing that all game, fam. Y'all been throwing the U down all game. But now you mad and want to throw trash at our players on the sideline because we whooped y'all ass. That's tough. That's tough. Now, D being in the building, D being your Gators got a dub yesterday. You survived UCF. They came into the swamp and you beat them, I think it was what, 28-13 or something like that? Something to 13. Y'all beat them. 24-13. But y'all didn't score a goddamn point in the second half. Y'all didn't score 1 point in the second half. KJ Jefferson, I don't know what team would literally draft this guy, but I hope it's not my team. I hope the guy is not my team. That's tough. My goodness. That man, listen. I'm gonna put the link in the chat right now. I need some I need some company up in here today. I know some of y'all stayed up last night. I know y'all watched the game last night. And if you didn't watch it last night, I know some of y'all woke up early this morning and y'all went and searched and found it, or y'all had it on DVR and y'all watched it. So I need some help up in here today. The link is in the chat. Y'all click that thing, come on in here. As you guys know, we're not just going to talk about Miami. We're going to talk about the Florida State Seminoles, the Florida Gators, and the rest of college football, man. A lot went down yesterday. Vanderbilt went in raw last night. That's tough. Alabama, the number one team in the country, gets knocked off by freaking Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt used to be the bottom of the SEC. Now you got them being replaced by teams like the Florida Gators, the Mississippi States of the world, the Auburns. Those are the teams that's replacing Vanderbilt as the worst teams in the SEC. A week ago, we watched Alabama put a beating on Georgia in the first half. Georgia climbed back in, and then Alabama got a miracle touchdown by Ryan Williams. You know what Vanderbilt said to Ryan Williams? You can score all you want, but you ain't gonna stop us from scoring. Vanderbilt never trailed in that game. That's tough, Alabama. Peanut, where the hell is Peanut? Where is Peanut? Somebody get Peanut up in here. Peanut Roll Tide, where you at, Peanut? I know you in the chat somewhere. I know you listening somewhere. I know you lurking. I know you mad. You're probably on your way to DeBoer right now, trying to kick him out of Alabama. You're probably on your way to Nick Saban's house right now, begging him to come back. Somebody get Peanut Roll up in here, man. That's tough. Alabama, goddamn. Y'all are the joke of college football in week 6. Y'all are the goddamn joke. A week ago, y'all beat the Bulldogs. And then y'all come out here and get the Bulldogs beat off of y'all. Damn, that's tough. Man, Alabama. Damn, that's tough. Georgia beat Auburn. Man, that's tough. God dang it, Alabama. I wonder how many parlays y'all done fucked up yesterday. Because I'm pretty sure some people had y'all as you know what? Let me throw Alabama on there as an easy win, kind of make these parlay numbers go up a little bit more. Y'all blew a lot of tickets yesterday. I want to know the fan that put a lot of money on Vanderbilt yesterday, because whoever that is, that's a rich dude. That is a rich dude. Whoever put some money on Vanderbilt yesterday, on the money line, to cover the spread, all of that. To go over, y'all want y'all some money. Alabama laid down yesterday. Now, what's crazy to me is when you look at Vanderbilt Stadium, there was more Alabama fans in there than there was Vanderbilt.
Definitely was more.
What's going on, man?
What's up, man? What's going on?
Man, Alabama, man. Y'all king got their head bowed yesterday.
Hey, man, it's not even a king, man. There is no king in the SEC right now. Anybody can get it, bro.
Nah, man. Alabama was the king, man.
No, they weren't, bro.
They was the number one team in the country, man.
That don't mean nothing, man. Some people can't handle that number one ranking. They only had it for 5 days.
Man, that's tough.
You know what I'm saying? They only had the ranking for 5 days.
So what happened in that game?
I can't really put a finger on what happened. It's just, they didn't play well. They never had to lead the entire game. And the defense, we dropped 34 in 2 quarters on that defense. And Vandy dropped 40 in 4 quarters on that defense. That defense done gave up 74 points in 6 quarters.
Do Vanderbilt play Georgia this year?
Nah, we don't play Vandy this year. Nope.
Damn. Look at Georgia ducking Vanderbilt.
I know they more ducking us, but it's all good.
Oh man, Georgia out here ducking Vanderbilt. That's the narrative we're gonna push.
Yeah. We don't care what narrative you push. It's just I know my team being the natty, so I'm not even worried about nobody else.
You said what?
We're gonna be in the natty, man.
You're gonna be in the natty.
Yeah, bro.
Get some help.
Ain't nobody else beating us, dog.
Bullshit.
So what other team Georgia gonna lose to T2? Give me another team on the schedule we're gonna lose to.
I don't know who y'all gonna lose to on y'all schedule. If you make it to the playoffs and you run into that Category 6 hurricane, that's tough.
Oh, okay. So you guaranteeing a playoff spot now?
Hell yeah, we guarantee it. We guaranteeing it. As a matter of fact, let me pull up this see if they uploaded the rankings yet.
So all y'all fans in the Big Three, man. Hey, just remember T2I just guaranteed a playoff spot.
Of course. All we gotta do is win this ACC. We got 6 games to go.
Okay, do y'all play SMU?
No.
What other teams y'all got on the schedule as far as like ACC wise?
I'm glad you asked. Let me go through it with you right now.
So everybody in the chat, man, are you put a 1 in the chat if you're guaranteeing a playoff spot for Miami?
Yeah, y'all go ahead and put them ones in the chat. Go ahead. Put them ones in the chat. Let him know we going to the playoffs. We gonna be there.
Ones in the chat if y'all guaranteeing a playoff spot.
We gonna be there. So the coaches poll has already dropped. As of right now, the AP hasn't came out yet. As you guys know, they go by the AP. So Texas is number 1, of course. Alabama dropped down to number 7. They dropped 5 spots. Now, Ohio State's number 2. Oregon's back at 3. Georgia at 4. Penn State 5. Miami number 6. This is in the coaches poll. Then you got Alabama, Ole Miss. Tennessee dropped 5 spots. As you guys know, Tennessee got whooped by Arkansas. Did you watch that game?
Yeah, I watched that game from beginning to the end. Nico looked bad. Tennessee, I mean, they actually did take the lead, but they just could not hold it. Their defense didn't play, man. Arkansas lost their quarterback, so Arkansas backup came in and beat Tennessee in Arkansas.
All right. So basically, looking at Miami's schedule now. Next game is Louisville. I just watched Louisville took an L yesterday. Nonetheless, they still a good team. Still gonna be a little challenge. As you guys can see, teams are getting up to play Miami. We are the top ranked team in the ACC. We got a lot of playoffs hype. Game day, everybody, they can't stop talking about us. So everybody want to be that guy to knock us off. They want to be the guy to beat us. So every game we play, everybody's going to give us our best.
Is that in Miami or is it at Louisville?
At Louisville.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So this week now, after coming off of this late night game, we got a bye week. So we get to rest up and get back in tune with our regular timing and all that.
Right. So
then we go play Louisville.
Okay.
So sometime during this week, we're going to get the timing for that game, which Louisville right now, I think they're sitting at 3-2. Miami is sitting at 6-0.
That's a trap game. Trap alert.
Miami currently is the number 8 team in the country on the AP until they drop the new one, which is we're gonna go up or we're gonna stay somewhere the same based on yesterday's win. But Alabama lost, Tennessee lost, a lot of teams in the top 10 lost. Michigan lost,
Missouri lost.
Missouri got the bejesus beat out.
Yep, USC lost too.
So yeah, USC. So, at the end of the day, Miami's gonna move. Might not be up significantly, but we're gonna move regardless. Now, the rest of our schedule, Louisville, we got a bye week this week. Rest up, get everybody back in tune, or work on some stuff on the defensive side, and get it together. Now, after Louisville, we got a home game versus Florida State, aka easy put. Easy. Simple. In 2024, when you play against Florida State, just get some easy coochie right now. Easy.
Hey, FSU fans, y'all hear that? Y'all hear that, right?
All the FSU fans, open up your ears. Florida State in 2024 is easy coochie. Easy coochie. Everybody get the hit. Everybody get the hit. After we play Florida State, we got another home game versus Duke. Then we got to play against Georgia Tech in Atlanta. We're gonna win. Wake Forest, we're gonna win. And Syracuse, we're gonna win.
Is Syracuse at home or on the road?
We got Syracuse on the road.
Oh, that's gonna be a tough one, man.
No, that's an easy win.
That's an easy win.
Easy win. No, Syracuse. We at home against Syracuse. My bad.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Are we? No. We on the road for Syracuse. Easy win.
Okay.
Still easy.
Yeah,
win.
you got to go up to New York. That's gonna be a tough game, man.
Yeah. So next game, I won't sleep on them. It's Louisville. Obviously, you guys see the past couple of games. Teams that would pose a challenge, like your Virginia Techs and your Cal or whatever, they showed up to play. They showed up to play against Miami. I expect the same from Louisville. Hopefully, it's not a nail biter. But hey, at the end of the day, if it does happen that way, as long as Miami come out with a dub, I'm fine. I'm fine. We don't need to depend on nobody on this schedule. We just need to win the ACC, and we in the playoffs. Plain and simple. So get the dub against Louisville, and then we'll host Florida State at home. Easy coochie. Plain and simple. That's the next two games. Manny Diaz and Duke. Duke lost to Georgia Tech. They blew their little undefeated season. It's probably only a few teams left that's undefeated in the country. Texas undefeated. Ohio State, Oregon, Penn State, Miami, BYU, Illinois State. Iowa State. I say Illinois. Indiana 6-0 too.
Yeah. Shout out to Indiana, man.
And the Pitt Panthers, man. Pitt Panthers 5-0.
Yeah, they 5-0 for the first time since '91. But I think Penn State and Oregon play each other this year.
Man, that's tough. That's tough right now.
And Penn State does this to us every year. They go undefeated for like 5 or 6 games, then they start losing. So I don't believe in Penn State at all.
All right. Let's look at these top 25 scores from yesterday, man. First of all, did you stay up all night last night watching that Miami game?
No, man. I cut it off in the third quarter when y'all was down 25.
You ain't thought you were gonna wake up to Miracle on Elm Street.
I know, right? Miracle in freaking Berkeley, California.
Miracle. It's like Marshawn Lynch's spirit was in there with them.
Yeah, I think so, man.
It wasn't enough. Just like the Super Bowl against the Patriots, it wasn't enough, Marshawn. Get your ass up out of here. I still like you, though. You cool people. But get your ass up out of here. You got McAfee to pick you, beat us. You got that man to pick wrong, man. That's tough. That's tough. McAfee, that's why you got to stop succumbing to peer pressure. That man bullied you to pick Cal to beat us yesterday. You went against your own judgment and picked against us. Don't pick against the mighty Hurricanes. Not with Cam Ward. How you gonna pick against the mighty Hurricanes with Cam Ward? Come on, man. McAfee, by your head. Told me everybody in the Kaiser Filter space. By your head.
I don't even say bow your head no more. I just say look at the ground. Face the ground.
Don't even touch grass. Eat grass.
Yeah, exactly.
None of that stuff, McAfee.
Look at the ground. I just tell him look at the ground.
Now let's break this thing down, man. Oregon got them nice little win against Michigan State. That started on Friday. UNLV, man, they was ranked at number 25. Syracuse knocked them off, overtime or whatever. But then Saturday, when most of the games got played yesterday, top 25 game, a lot of craziness,
Yeah, Missouri gets killed by Texas A&M.
a lot of craziness. So Miami, of course, 21 points in the second, in the fourth quarter alone.
Yeah,
21
just in one quarter. Yeah,
that game, my goodness, man. If you listen, high blood pressure. This was a cardiac cane game. Second week in a row, we had to deal with this. This is 2017 all over again for the past 2 weeks. Now, I must say, I'm glad we got Cam Ward. But Cam Ward, your ass got to stop spending so much goddamn time in that pocket. If it ain't there, you need to take off, man. I know you ain't come here to run the ball at Miami. You come here to pass it and build your stats up and throw the ball and show NFL scouts that you can do this and that. But I'm gonna need your ass to take off sometimes. If it ain't there, I get extending the play. Trust me, I get it. Sometimes you stayed in that pocket, some shit open up and you hit them. Boom. Okay, cool. But sometimes if it ain't there, it ain't there. Take the hell off. Don't take them goddamn sacks. Throw the damn ball away. Throw the ball away. I'm glad we win. I'm glad you staying calm and you still playing your game. But sometimes you got to make better decisions, my boy.
just don't eat the rat poison, man. Y'all 6-0. You going into a bye week. You know what I'm saying? Don't eat the rat poison. Hopefully, them players still, keep working hard and keep doing what they supposed to do because you got a case like Alabama, ate the rat poison, beat Georgia, went down to Vandy, got whooped.
All I know is I'm tired of screen passes. I'm tired of wheel routes. I'm tired of all that shit working on us. I'm tired of tight ends that's slow, but they go super fast when they play against us. Wide open ass touchdowns. I'm tired of all of that.
Got to fix that secondary, man.
That's tough. B being said, T2Y say FSU is easy coochie. What the F? Hey, they is, man. They is. They're 1-5 right now. Cal should have beat them. Florida State should have been 0-6 right now. They should be 0-6 right now. Easy coochie. Easy coochie. If you got Florida State on your schedule right now, you might as well just go ahead and mark them off as a dub.
Just put a W next to the name.
Next to your name. The only way you lose that game is if you lose your first string quarterback, your second string quarterback, your first string running back, your second string running back, your first string wide receiver, your second string wide receiver.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you lose one of your water boys, maybe you'll lose that game.
Have you seen any FSU fans on? I haven't seen none on YouTube, though.
No, you got to go in Pope chat after the games. That's where they be at. You know they're gonna hang amongst themselves.
Yeah, I got you.
Go on the boards, on the 247 Sports board. That's where they hang out at now.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Echo chambers.
I got you. Because I really haven't seen any on YouTube making any videos. Not compared to last year, you know what I'm saying?
Man. Offensive line for Miami, we got to do better in the run game. We got to do better. We got to start making some holes. We got to start doing our assignments, all that. We got to start getting some push. Now, I understand we'll bulldoze defensive line for 5 yards, and the running back won't have no hole to really hit, but we'll put about 5 yards just by him running behind the line. But sometimes, man, in certain situations, you need more than that. We need a hole. Offensive line, make this y'all goal this bye week to fix some of that shit. Fix some of that. We need some holes, man. We need some holes. We like a dude right now that's fresh out of jail. We need some holes.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
If y'all know what I mean, we need some holes right now. But man, what a hell of a night. What a hell of a night.
I mean, this is college football. Everybody should be used to it by now. I mean, this happens, man. It's gonna be upsets every week. Y'all need to get used to it. Stop betting your hard-earned money on these teams because 9 times out of 10 they're gonna get upset. More teams are gonna get upset in the top 10, so be ready.
Now, I need y'all to take a look at this. Because the SEC is all over the place at this moment. Vanderbilt got beat by Virginia. I'm sorry, they beat Virginia Tech. They beat Ohio State. They lost to Georgia State.
Yeah, you put some respect on Georgia State.
They lost to Georgia State. Then they lost to Missouri.
In double overtime. Yep.
Now, keep in mind, both of these were close games they lost. But nonetheless, they still got them lost. And then they play Alabama. Oh, Feinbaum, your big earhead at. But then they played Alabama and beat Alabama. Dominated Alabama. Whole goddamn game. They was not nervous. Knocked off Alabama.
One team in the nation.
Now watch this. This week, Vanderbilt's gonna come out and get beat by Kentucky.
Yeah, you know what's gonna happen.
Then they're gonna beat Ball State, and then Texas gonna beat them. They'll probably upset Auburn.
Nah, Auburn ain't an upset no more. Auburn's trash, bro.
Well, they'll beat Auburn. Then they'll probably beat South Carolina too. LSU will knock them off, and then that's probably gonna be a toss-up with Tennessee. Tennessee is hype every goddamn year.
They get this hype every year, bro, because of this freaking quarterback.
Tennessee, I know y'all are orange brothers and everything, but y'all making this shade of orange look bad. Every year they hype y'all up. That's tough. Ohio State handle business, no competition. Jeremiah Smith out there making one-hand catches.
Ohio State, they really don't play nobody this year. I mean, they like the new Georgia. They don't play nobody, so nobody respects them.
Jeremiah Smith out there making one-handed catch. He got YouTubers out here talking about this nigga need to come get my sister pregnant. That's tough. That's tough. I seen a video yesterday where they were like, this dude is such a freaking athlete. He need to come get my sister pregnant so they could have a freak.
I expect some people on YouTube to say some dumb stuff like that. Some freaking cuckolds.
That's tough. Y'all really want that man to come make y'all sister a single mom?
Pretty much.
That's tough. Tennessee, Arkansas, man. God damn Tennessee. 14 points in the third quarter, and that was all she wrote for Tennessee. That was all she wrote. Now Tennessee went into the fourth quarter. They was up. It was up 14-10. And then they let Arkansas just walk them down. Talk about overrated. Talk about overhyped. Every year we see it for the past 3 years now. That's what we've been getting from Tennessee. That's what we've been getting for Tennessee. UCF sucks. Absolutely. Super Cam. Yeah, UCF do suck.
Yeah, UCF is trash. I thought they was going to do something. They had a lot of hype going into the season.
Florida trash too. Florida
Colorado killed them and then Florida beat them. So they pretty much done. They season over.
Man, you saw how Billy did them fans yesterday when he was going into the lockers. They all trying to get handshakes and shit. He just pretend like he didn't see him and just walk straight through the lockers.
Yeah, because those are the same fans that want him fired. He already know.
But Billy already told him, man, he like playing away games better. He like playing away games better.
Yeah, man.
Man, that's tough. They over there.
The truth, man. It's good.
They handcuffing Lagway, man. Go ahead and let Lagway free. Georgia beat Auburn.
I know. We a lot of people said we was about to get upset,
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the chat that they would have took that Auburn plus 900.
Yeah, yeah. Georgia gonna get upset. Georgia's not the same. Blah blah blah.
Man, you can't blame them though, man. They just watch y'all squandered away the game in the first half against Alabama.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they can say what they want, but you obviously see what Alabama did. So, hey, man, talk about Georgia as much as you want. It's not gonna stop us from winning the Natty. So, type and talk as much as you want. It don't matter.
The Natty. The Natty.
Yeah.
The Natty. Oh, hell no. 2024, a red, black, and white team is not going to hold on that.
Okay. Okay, T2Y. Remember you said this in October. Come January, I want you to say the same thing.
I'm going to say it all the way till dust do dawn.
All right. When
I
we
ain't winning no goddamn Natty this year.
when we in Mercedes Stadium and the confetti is falling, I want you to remember you said this.
Confetti is falling. I'm orange and green confetti. Boy, that's nice.
But you guaranteeing a playoff spot for real?
Of course. Do you see the rest of our schedule?
I know, but a lot of people guaranteed to win over Vanderbilt, and that didn't happen. A lot of gums said, "Of course we're gonna beat Vanderbilt." And that didn't happen. T2Y.
We in Alabama. We ain't rolling with no goddamn time.
Oh, okay, I got you.
We're the Hurricanes. We're the mighty Hurricanes. You seen what we did in North Carolina? That was just a joke, guys. That was just a joke. Maybe it's too early.
You hit below the belt, bro.
Too early now. I understand. It's just a joke. I'm praying for all the people in North Carolina. Let me make this clear. If somebody gonna be like, "Oh man, look what he just did," that's tough. Prayers up for all the people in North Carolina. I think the United States of America government is doing y'all so unjust. Not want to go into politics and shit, but all the money getting sent to Ukraine when they could send that shit to take care of home. Let's move on.
Yeah. Let's move on. Let's move on.
UCLA versus Pitt. Penn State. I'm sorry. Penn State handle business. 27-11. Just what they thought would happen. UCLA been a terrible team for years now. Went into the Big Ten. Nothing's going to change. They 0-3 in the Big Ten already.
Yeah.
Texas A&M blows out Missouri, supposedly the number 9 team in the country, one of the best teams in the SEC. What did you see yesterday? Because all I saw was pure domination from.
I watched that game. Missouri wasn't ready. They were sleepwalking. They got ran all over. Texas A&M ran all over them. I think they almost had 200 yards rushing in the first half. It got ugly. Missouri takes an L. No longer in the top 10. They probably dropped down to like 16, 17. This SEC life, man. If you don't come ready to play, if you don't have all your T's crossed and your I's dotted, you're going to get your butt whooped. That's what happened to Mizzou.
Man, the SEC is wide open.
Yeah, definitely.
SEC is wide open.
Yeah.
Do y'all play Texas A&M?
Nah, we don't play Texas A&M or Mizzou. Nope.
Yeah. Nope. So y'all just out here ducking Texas A&M.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see them in the SEC championship.
I doubt it. This is Texas A&M all over. They'll win in the beginning and they'll find ways of losing it.
Yeah, it happens, man. It happens.
So look at Washington, man, getting that big dub against number 10 Michigan. Michigan was a 1-point underdog, but damn, they got beat by 10.
Yeah, that was a national championship rematch. That's a national championship all over again.
What did Washington do right in this game?
They didn't really do a lot right. It's just Michigan ain't got no quarterback, so you just put 9 in the box.
Oh, damn.
Michigan ain't got a quarterback, so just put 8, 9 in the box and stop the run, and you'll eventually get the win. So Michigan defense got tired, and Washington took advantage. So that's the ball game, folks.
Okay, so there's a statement in this chat that I need you to address. It says SEC overrated.
Yeah, I mean we've been hearing that for the last 16 years, right?
Okay, we got another bold statement in the chat. An obvious bold-faced lie. Dogs rolling loud. No team from Florida will make the playoffs. No.
Oh,
Now, when we say no team, he's clearly talking about Florida State and the Gators.
hey, make sure you
Totally
screen that.
opposite.
He said no team from Florida will make the playoffs. Wow.
Obviously, that beating that Alabama put down last week is still resonating.
Do you know that no college football team from Alabama won yesterday? Every college football team in Alabama lost yesterday.
Yeah, that's tough.
Alabama A&M lost. Alabama State lost. Auburn lost. Alabama lost. All the Alabama teams in college football lost yesterday.
Damn, the whole state was rolling with the Tides. Damn, that's tough. Minnesota got their little Big Ten win over USC. Lincoln Riley at USC, is that a bust at this time?
Yeah, it's over for him. He's probably got one more year left, and they're gonna get him up out of there.
Man, remember when he first went to USC with all that money, all the private jet, the mansion, all that?
Yeah, they told me they was not.
Man, he even went into his bag and took players from Georgia. Shout out to Barry Alexander.
Yeah, he took Bear Alexander, who is no longer with the team anymore.
Now, Barry Alexander just hit the transfer portal, if I'm not mistaken. I wonder where he ends up. Would Georgia take back Barry Alexander?
Nah, we're not gonna take him back, but he's gonna go to whatever team give him the most money.
Man, that's tough.
Yeah.
You know what? At this point, I got to give players like Shamar Stewart. I got to give him some respect. He chose to go to Texas A&M, and he stayed there.
Yeah, he stayed. But you know, a lot of these guys, they don't get the money that they need or the money they was promised. They out of there.
He stayed there. Jimbo brought him in. Jimbo got fired, and he actually stayed.
Yeah, he stuck around. Kudos to him. But the top 10 is going to change again. So expect more upsets next week. Expect more teams that you think going to win to lose.
I know one team that ain't gonna lose next week. The Mighty Hurricane. We on a bye week. We on a bye week, so we gonna sit back, eat some popcorn, and watch one of y'all get knocked off.
Yeah. Somebody gonna get knocked off next week. You'll see it.
Speaking of getting knocked off, South Carolina, y'all did not live up to what I was expecting yesterday, and that's why you lost 27-7. One of y'all players, when y'all got a little sack on Jackson Dart, you start shooting your little handgun, you empty the clip.
Yep.
And then at the end of the game, when you lost, he said, "Damn, Jackson Dart went on Twitter and was trolling this guy." He was like, "You empty the whole clip and ain't hit not one time."
Yep, pretty much.
100 rounds and you ain't hit not one time. That's tough.
Yep, pretty much, man.
Crazy. Shout out to Jackson Dart. You're a little troll too. You're a little troll too. Shout out to that kid, man. I like Jackson Dart. Cool. Clemson, Florida State. Bobby Bowden record gets broken. Endo. That's tough. Florida State couldn't even do it for Bobby. They couldn't even do it.
Yeah. Their season's over.
And then you got the boy. You got your boy DJ didn't even play in the game. Brock Glenn came out, and now the Florida State fans are saying Brock Glenn is a better quarterback. They should have went with him from the beginning. DJ, your time at Florida State is up.
He's trying to get a medical red shirt so he can play another year. He's trying to get a medical red shirt for his injury.
But he's already played in 5.
Yeah, he trying to play again. He know this team this year with this team he ain't gonna do nothing, so he gonna just hit the portal again.
Dog, I think it's time for DJ to just hang it up, dog. It's time to hang it up, dog.
It's hilarious, bro.
At this
But I
point,
gotta step
man,
off. I'll get back with you, bro. I gotta step out.
yeah.
All
At
right,
this
bro.
point, man, it might just be, you know what? Let me just go ahead and work at Circle K. Let me go ahead and, you know, refill the Polar Pops. Get that 20 on pump 5. Something, man. I know DJ gotta have some kind of you know degree or something. He could go out there and get a job, man. You know, the NIL money, man, invested in a business where at least you don't have to clock in, man. But at this point, my boy, just hang it up, man. Just hang it up. Super Cam says Cam Ward is another Jordan Travis. Is he? Is he really though? Is Cam Ward just another Jordan Travis? What y'all think? What y'all think? Is he? Baylor lost to Iowa State, you know, 43 to 21. Nice little 3-score win for Iowa State. Iowa State 5-0 right now. They might be legit. They might be legit. But you know how that Big 12 thing goes. You know, you got to watch that thing play out. Boise State out there making statements. Beat the brakes off Utah State. Beat them by 32. Nothing to really talk about. I ain't watched that game. I don't think I'm going to be watching any Mountain West game, to be honest with you. That's tough. Showdown in the ACC. Showdown in the ACC. Storyline, narratives. Let's push. Let's push storyline and narrative. SMU, 2 weeks in a row, came into the ACC and beat the two teams back to back that was in the ACC championship last year. Last week, 42 to 16 against Florida State. Blow them out the water, knock them out, kick them in the gut. I told y'all already, Florida State is easy coochie, easy coochie. Then this week, turn around, went up to Louisville, went up to Louisville and got the dub. Both teams that represented the ACC in the ACC championship last year, back-to-back weeks, got knocked off by SMU, the Mustangs. Now, here's a funny narrative. Florida State said SMU, Cal, and Stanford wasn't worthy of being in the ACC. They didn't want to bring them in. Obviously, you know, they're suing the ACC. They're suing everybody. They're suing your grandma, my grandma. They suing the spoon that they ate their rice with. They suing everybody. Florida State suing everybody. If you go to Tallahassee right now and you sneeze, they might sue you. That's tough. But they didn't want SMU in here. SMU knock them off. SMU knock them off. Put up or shut up. Plain and simple. Blowout. Knock them out. Clean. Florida State didn't even put up their gloves. They just stood there and got knocked out. That's tough. But back-to-back weeks, they knocked off the two representatives in the ACC championship last year. SMU is coming in here making statements. Now, they're 2-0 in the ACC play. If they keep playing the way that they playing, they could possibly make it to the ACC championship. It might be a Miami versus SMU for the ACC championship. That's tough. That's tough. Now, you know what? Before we dig too deep into SMU, though, let's look at the rest of their schedule real quick. Let's see who's on their schedule. Who do they play all the way out? So they already knocked off Florida State. They already knocked off Louisville. They got Stanford next. I think they'll knock off Stanford. They got Duke next after that. I think they'll knock off Duke. Manny Diaz versus Rhett Lashley. That's going to be a nice little narrative. You know, Manny Diaz was the head coach of Miami. Rhett Lashley was his offensive coordinator. Now they both got, different jobs. One's at Duke, one's at SMU. Now they face off each other. That'll be a good little narrative. I don't think nobody's gonna pick Duke to win this thing though. Let's just be honest. Pitt right now is undefeated. I don't know what to make of that Pitt team. So I have watched a little bit of that North Carolina game yesterday, but not enough to kind of find an identity for Pitt. But they are undefeated. So SMU versus Pitt might be interesting. Boston College, total disappointment. Started off so strong, but at this point, trash. Plain and simple, just trash. Virginia knocked them off yesterday. Boston College will find ways to lose games. Speaking of Virginia, they're also on SMU schedule. So along the way, looking at their schedule, SMU could be undefeated in ACC play. If none of these teams are able to stop them or get an upset, because they're more than likely going to be favored in all of these, SMU might make it to the ACC championship game. It might be a runway. They might run right into Miami in the ACC championship game. That'll be tough. They first year in the ACC, they make it to the ACC championship game. That'll be tough. Now, obviously, you got to check out Clemson and their path and see, who they play next, who all they play, and there might be a crash course at the end of the season where if Miami's undefeated in ACC play, 12-0 or whatever, then who will be their opponent in the ACC championship? That's going to be the question. Clemson, is it going to be SMU? Who else could possibly, wind up there? You'll go ahead and cross some of the other teams off that already got losses. Cross Virginia Tech off. Those are some of the teams that they said that would be there. Go ahead and cross Louisville off. Those two eliminate. So you got Miami, SMU, and possibly Clemson. Clemson don't play SMU. Clemson don't play Miami. So there's no crash course between these teams. Now I say Clemson schedule. Let's just go all the way to Wake. So the next game is Wake Forest, UVA. Then they got Louisville. So the Louisville versus Clemson game is going to be must see. It's going to be must see because if Louisville knocks off Clemson, it might be a straight runway for SMU as long as they win out. It might be a Miami versus SMU ACC championship if they win out, and that's if Miami wins out too. Because some of these games has been too close for comfort. So the ACC, man, right now it's not totally wide open, but you got Clemson, you got Miami, and SMU. Those are going to be the main focus right now until somebody lose and then, things will shuffle again. But at this point, Clemson do have Louisville. They do got Virginia Tech and Pitt. Teams that are doing pretty well right now. Pitt undefeated right now. Pitt do have to play SMU. So who knows? Let's just say Pitt's the one that knocks off SMU. Then boom. Now we're talking about a possible SMU being out of the picture now. You got Pitt, Clemson, and Miami. And Pitt got to play Clemson too. So it's all over the place. As long as Miami win out, Miami will be there. But their opponent right now is uncertain. It's uncertain. But anyway, let's continue with this top 25 from yesterday. Where did we leave off? Clemson, Florida State. We talked about there. We talked about SMU. Indiana knocked off Northwestern. Nothing really to see there. Northwestern 0-2 in Big Ten. Indiana surprisingly is 6-0 right now. 6-0. Indiana is bowl eligible as of right now. Now, obviously, they're probably going to start playing some tougher opponents in the Big Ten. But let's just check out the rest of their schedule. Since Indiana is 6-0, let's talk about Indiana, something we don't normally do. So obviously, Washington, Nebraska, Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State, Purdue. You go ahead and pencil them and win in versus Purdue. Purdue is trash. Purdue is like Florida State right now. Easy coochie. Easy coochie. So Nebraska might be a challenge. Nebraska possibly the one that knocked them off. That's tough. Washington, Michigan ain't got no quarterback, so they could probably, squeeze a win out of Michigan and stuff like that. So Indiana, man, I'm gonna watch y'all next week. If y'all beat Nebraska, then I might take y'all a little bit more serious, even though y'all are 6-0, and that's that's pretty good. But the difficulty of that back schedule is what I'm gonna really look at. I think you're gonna lose to Ohio State, so definitely got a few L's coming your way. But hey, man, prove me wrong. Go out there, knock off Ohio State, shock the world, do all of that. But yeah, those were the top 25 games yesterday, man. Alabama was the biggest shocker. Everybody in the world is talking about it. That goalpost, they took the goalpost and they brought it to the river, just like Tennessee did. Just like Tennessee did. They throw the goalpost in the river. Of course, when you haven't beat a team, I think they haven't beat Alabama in like 20-something years. So when that happened, go ahead and celebrate. Let the fans have it. Probably won't see this kind of thing again in a while. So, celebrate. Live it up, Vanderbilt. Y'all deserve it, man. Y'all deserve it. I think it's a SEC tradition, or maybe it's just a Tennessee thing to throw goalposts in the river. I think teams that's been there before, that has won recently, or even have some kind of pride, they're not gonna do all that. They're not gonna do all that. Sometimes you gotta act like you've been there before. 40 plus years. That's tough. That's tough. All right, let's jump into the ACC real quick. Let's see some of the matchups that got played yesterday outside of the top 25. Outside of the top 25. Hopefully during this live sometime the AP poll will update and we could get to see where teams are ranked as of now. But if not, we'll talk about it sometime during the week. Might even just make a regular video to talk about that. But outside of the top 25 yesterday, Boston College lost to Virginia by 10. Boston College, I think there was an underdog in this one, if I'm not mistaken. I think they were like a 1.5 point underdog or whatever. I thought Boston College would have won, but clearly, Virginia had different plans. Boston College pretty much gave away that game in the second half. But hey, be like that. Pitt improves to 5-0. North Carolina take back-to-back L's. Back-to-back L's. Actually, three L's back-to-back. James Madison, Duke, and now Pitt. James Madison wasn't even close. They lost to Duke by 1 point, and yesterday they lost to Pitt by 10. North Carolina, man, Mac Brown, y'all are going in the wrong direction. You won 3 straight, then you lose 3 straight. That's tough. That's tough. Wake Forest pulled off one against NC State. I thought NC State would have won this one. I thought NC State was slightly better, but this was like garbage versus garbage. And, one of them had to win. Wake Forest came away with a win. That's tough. Wake Forest is on Miami's schedule, so nothing to really be scared of or anything like that. I'm not telling Miami to take them lightly, but I am. I'm taking them lightly. They trash. Plain and simple. Virginia went out to Stanford, went out to California yesterday, handled business, went home 31-7. Nothing to really see there. And of course, Duke went into this game 5-0. We all thought, okay, this might be a statement game for Duke. If they could get this win, they'll be 6-0. The narratives would be even boosted even more for the Miami versus Duke game. Cristobal versus Manny Diaz. Manny Diaz gets fired. Cristobal replaces him. Now they got a face off in Miami. You know, that would have been a great narrative. Both teams came into this thing undefeated and all that, but then Duke showed you what Duke really are. They finally got that L that they probably could have got a long time ago. So it is what it is. So it is what it is, man. Georgia Tech handled business. They 4-2. Georgia Tech's about 2 games away from being bowl eligible. So good luck to them. They already played 4 ACC games. They 2-2 in the ACC. Nobody's expecting them to play for no ACC championship. So it is what it is. Let's go on over to the SEC. I know a lot of you guys love the SEC. Y'all think they're the best conference in the country and stuff like that. So let's go on over there and talk about their matchups that wasn't ranked in the top 25. Most of their games will be ranked in the top 25. Actually, the only game that was not ranked in the top 25 was the Florida Gators, the Baby Lizards of Gainesville. They beat UCF yesterday, 24-13. All 24 of Florida's points, because I watched this goddamn game. I sat here and I had the Florida State game on the TV, and on my tablet, I had the Florida Gator game. I'm watching both of them. Florida did not put up no goddamn points in the second half. They didn't put up no goddamn points in the second half. So don't let this win against UCF make you feel like Florida's this team. Oh, they back. They are better than they are. This, that, and the third. Their record at the end of the year is still going to reflect the same. Right now, Florida is 3-2. The games that I've guaranteed them to win, when I was doing the whole prediction for them, they've won. I told them they was going to lose against Miami. They lost. I told them they would beat Stanford. They won. I told them the Mississippi State game, they were going to win that, or it could be a toss-up. They won that. UCF, I told them toss-up. It could go either way. If they lose this game, they'll probably fire Billy. Well, they pulled it off. UCF is just that goddamn trash. UCF just ain't got the talent or the athlete to compete with Florida at this point. So they got that W. They 3-2. The rest of the schedule is where it gets shaky for Florida. The rest of the schedule. Now, obviously, they play Tennessee next. They play at Tennessee. Tennessee just came off a loss to Arkansas. That game looks like Florida could possibly do a thing or two if they show up to play. But watching them play against USF, watching some of the Tennessee versus Arkansas, I don't know where to go with this one. I got Tennessee still winning. That game. I think Florida's next winnable game until they face Florida State is possibly Kentucky. And we all seen what Kentucky did the last time they played. They knocked off Ole Miss. We all seen Kentucky versus Georgia. They lost that game by a point. Now, obviously, sometimes teams play other teams differently. You might have seen a great Kentucky versus Ole Miss, a great Kentucky versus Georgia, but then they get to Florida and you're like, what the hell happened? How did Florida win this game? How did they do it the way they did? This college football in 2024. It's hard to predict anything. Any given week, anybody could lose. So I'm not going to count Florida out against Kentucky as of yet. I think Kentucky probably do get the win. But I think that game is 50-50 for Florida. So they could possibly get a dub against Kentucky. I want to see what they do against Tennessee. I'm taking Tennessee to win, obviously. I want to see what Florida could do against Tennessee. Florida, I'm guaranteeing you a win against Florida State. I'm guaranteeing it. Florida State, as I've told y'all all show, Florida State is easy coochie. Easy coochie. Everybody get the hit this year. Everybody get the hit. Cal was the only one that tried to wipe him up, and you saw what happened. In 2024, when you go against Florida State, don't try to wipe them up. That's easy coochie. Everybody hit. Do not wipe them up. I'm telling you, that's tough. But that's the SEC, man. Florida was the only unranked team to play yesterday. Unranked matchup. That's tough. That's literally the Gators as we know in the past couple years now. Unranked. Big Ten games outside of the top 25 that happened yesterday. Let's roll through them. The ones that we haven't talked about. Purdue, Wisconsin. Nothing to really see there. Wisconsin without a Tyler Van Dyke, their starting quarterback, got the job done, 52-6. Wisconsin improved to 3-2, 1-1 in the Big Ten. You know, nothing to really see there. Wisconsin being Wisconsin. You know, shout out to TVD. You know, quick recovery for him. That's tough. Nebraska. I told you guys this was going to be my upset of the day. Nebraska versus Rutgers. Rutgers was the favorite. Nebraska went and handled business. If you guys betted on this, if you guys are watching the show and you betted on this game, good for you. Good for you. This was one of my upset of the day, and it happened. Nebraska knocks off Rutgers. Man, that's tough. What's left? The Big Ten. Actually, the Big 12. Big 12. Let's talk about the Big 12. College football alignment is going on too. The Pac-12 is trying to put together some of those mid games, some of those mid teams over there in the California area. They're offering guys like USF and all of them. They're getting turned down by a lot of schools. You know, they really ain't got the TV deals and the money to be, appeasing to some of these other schools. So they're trying to put together their conference, trying to build it back up so they could, compete. But, it is what it is. We're gonna see how it turns out in the Pac-12 in the next couple of years. See if they can put together a strong conference. Friday night, TCU got beat by Houston. Houston was one of the worst teams in the country. Came into this game 1-4. TCU let them beat them. You can't trust the Big 12 teams. Can't trust them. Good win for West Virginia. Knocks off Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State started off this season with so much hype and hope. They were ranked, everything, and just went downhills. Just went straight downhills. We talked about UCF, Florida already. Arizona State, survives against Kansas, beat them. Kansas is 1-5 right now. 0-3 in the Big 12. Arizona State 4-1. Yeah. The Big 12, probably one of the weakest conference in the country. Just a bunch of teams over there that can't apply no dominance. There's no team in the Big 12 to say, yo, these are their powerhouses. Outside of Utah, and at this point, you might as well just give Colorado some praise too. The Big 12 is, if you're talking about wide open, that's as wide as it gets. Man, that's tough. Texas Tech, Arizona. Texas Tech knocks off Arizona. Texas Tech improved to 5-1, 3-0 in Big 12 play. See, Texas Tech is another team right now that's at large to, do a thing or two in this Big 12 conference. A lot of them teams that, undefeated in the Big 12, they're going to run into each other. And then we're going to get a more clear picture of what's going to come out of the Big 12. But as of right now, it's what you got. It's a lot of chaos. It's kind of like the ACC, the SEC at the moment. You got teams like Alabama making things get shooken up a little bit. You got teams like Georgia, like Alabama beats Georgia. Georgia gets that one loss in the SEC. Then they lose to Vanderbilt. They got a loss. You got teams in there, man. That's gonna shake this thing up. As a matter of fact, let's do this. Let's go into the standings. Let's take a look at where we're at right now. A lot of the fast four games. A lot of teams hasn't played much conference games yet. So let's just take a quick look at some of these standings and all that. Clemson, as of right now, in the ACC, they're on top of the list. They're 3-0 in conference play. Obviously, Miami plays four straight games where it's non-conference, and now we're in conference play. We're 2 games in conference play. We're 2-0 in conference. SMU 2-0 in conference. Virginia 2-0 in conference. And Pitt has only played 1 conference game, but they're 1-0 in conference. So as of right now, there are 5 ACC teams that are undefeated in conference play. Obviously, Miami 6-0 with the best record, Pitt 5-0, the second best record, but this is based on conference. So at any given point, all these teams that you see that are undefeated right now in conference play, Miami don't play none of them. Miami don't play Clemson. They don't play SMU. They don't play Virginia or Pitt. None of these teams. It's a clear run for Miami right now. It's a clear run. Knock off Georgia Tech, Syracuse, Louisville, Duke, and Florida State, and Wake Forest. And we're there. We're in Charlotte. But let's keep it moving. The Big 12. Right now you got Texas Tech, they 3-0. You got BYU 2-0. Iowa State 2-0. Colorado 2-0. And West Virginia 2-0. Those are your guys right now in week 6 that are still alive, that could still possibly end up, playing for that championship. None of them has lost a conference game yet. They will play. Some of them will play each other, and it'll sort itself out. I say you'll have a clearer picture in the next 3 games in these conference. That's it. Henry Lee say Miami don't play nobody. You're right. Because Florida State ain't nobody. In 2024, Florida State, like I told you guys, is easy coochie. Easy coochie. Everybody hitting. Everybody hitting. So you might be right about that, Henry Lee. Miami don't play nobody. Oh, man, let's keep it moving. What else conference? Oh, Big Ten. Same thing with the Big Ten. But there's only 4 teams in the Big Ten that is actually still undefeated in conference play. Conference play. And all 4 of those teams are actually undefeated in the regular schedule with their regular schedule. So you got Indiana at 3-0, surprisingly. I don't think they'll stay 3-0 based on their schedule. They do got Ohio State on there. So I think Ohio State going to knock them off at least. Ohio State, of course, they're undefeated in conference play, 2-0. Yeah. Oregon's at number 3. And then you got Penn State at number 4. So now that I'm thinking about it, and I'm looking at these numbers, Penn State with the number 4 behind them, that just tells me the rankings has updated. The rankings is updated. Because last time I saw Pitt, they was at number 7, I think. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's head over to the rankings. Let's go ahead and get into this ranking stuff. Let's see where Miami is at. Like I said, guys, the AP poll is out. Miami's the number 6 team in the country. Miami is the number 6 team in the country. Now, the AP and the coaches poll are almost the exact same, except a flip-flop between Georgia and Penn State. In the AP poll, Miami is ranked right behind Georgia at number 6. In the coaches poll, Miami's ranked number 6 behind Penn State. So in the regular poll right now, and that's what they go by, the AP poll, Miami is the number 6 team in the country. Number 1, Texas. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 3, Oregon. Number 4, Penn State. Number 5, Georgia. And number 6, Miami. But let's go through the rest of this and see, how this thing panned out. So at number 7, dropping 6 spots after losing to Vanderbilt, you got Alabama. Alabama is now 4-1. Tennessee drops down to number 8 after losing to Arkansas. They dropped 4 spots. Ole Miss moved up 3 spots after their win against South Carolina. Clemson moves up 5 spots after dropping off Florida State last night, and Dabo becoming the most winningest coach in the ACC at Doak Camp Stable, where Bobby Bowden record got beat last night. That's tough. Florida State ain't got no pride in 2024. Number 11, actually tied for 11, is Iowa State and Notre Dame. Both of them are tied for number 11. So you could say 11, 1, 11B, whatever. At number 13, you got LSU. BYU comes in at 14. Texas A&M moves up 10 spots after knocking off Missouri. They moved up 10 spots. They're now the number 15 team in the country. Utah, they're sitting at number 16. Boise State moves up 4 spots. They're at number 17. Indiana, Oklahoma, and Kansas State, they're all tied. They're all tied for number 18. So 18, 19, 20 goes to those 3 teams, whichever way they want to put them in. They all got the same amount of votes. Missouri dropped 12 spots after Texas A&M pummeled them yesterday down to number 21. Pitt is ranked for the first time this season at number 22. Illinois, they move up 1 spot. Michigan drops 14 spots. Michigan drops down to number 24 after taking that L yesterday. Michigan dropped 24. And then SMU comes in at number 25 after beating Louisville yesterday. Louisville dropped from the rankings. Louisville has dropped from the rankings. So teams that dropped from the rankings yesterday, USC, Louisville, and UNLV. All those teams got dropped from the rankings. USC was number 11, Louisville was number 22, and UNLV was number 25. All dropped out of the rankings. Teams that are getting votes right now, obviously USC is still getting votes. They had 98 of them. So they're literally the number 26 team in the country. So basically USC drops down to number 26. Right behind them is Nebraska, Navy, Army. Navy and Army put on shows, guys. They've been winning. I think Navy and Army is undefeated as we speak, both of them. So not surprised there. The Naval Academy and, the military teams are, doing as well as they're doing, whatever. Vanderbilt actually got 26 votes yesterday. Vanderbilt is sitting inside the top 30 right now. Vanderbilt is sitting in the top 30. Arkansas obviously got some votes. Iowa, Washington State, Texas Tech, Syracuse, Washington. Louisville got 4 votes. That's why they're not in the top 25 anymore. Colorado only got 3 votes. This time around, Colorado actually got some votes. And Kentucky with 1. So that's your top 25. Right now, we're going to focus on the top 10 because obviously Miami is in the top 10. Miami's in the top 10. Miami is ranked better than Alabama right now. We're ranked right in between Georgia and Alabama. See, this is what happens when you build a team, not just through the transfer portal, but a little bit of mixture of both. Not when you just play all transfers and don't play none of the guys you actually recruit. This is what happened, Florida State. Take notes. Now, obviously, Miami winning close games. We winning. We still winning. This year, we don't have to depend on style of play, how you win games. Because I've been telling y'all this for a while now. In college football, it ain't just wins. This ain't the NFL where you just win. It's how you win and who you played against and all that. That's how they determine these rankings. That's how they position you. This season, Miami just need to worry about winning the ACC, and everything else will take care of itself. Plain and simple. We win the ACC, we're in the playoffs. We're guaranteed a spot in the 1, 2, 3, 4. So we don't really depend on anybody in the ACC right now. As long as we win, we control our own goddamn destiny. It's tough. Number 6 in the country, baby. Number 6. Feel like good time, don't it? Don't it, Miami fans? We feel like good time. Moving on up to the east side. Oh, man. And you know what's funny? Florida State fans, Florida Gator fans, y'all get to watch this in 4K. Y'all get to pray on our downfall the whole year. The whole year. Y'all get to pray on our downfall. Say it with me, Florida State fans. Say it with me, Gator fans. Miami is 6-0. Say it louder. Open up your mouth and say it. Florida State fans. Florida Gator fans. If y'all don't say it loud and proud, I'm going to make y'all go get a switch. I'm going to make y'all go outside and cut your own switch. So say it loud and proud. Miami is 6-0. Open up your mouth, Florida State fan and Florida Gator fan. Miami is 6-0. Say it loud and proud. You goddamn haters. All them goddamn prayers went up last night. Fell on deaf ears. God don't like ugly. All them sitting up here 2 o'clock in the morning. 2 o'clock in the morning. Y'all could have been sending a girl a text, or y'all could have been getting a text from a girl that say, hey, big head. But y'all up there praying at 2 o'clock in the morning that Miami lose. Y'all should be ashamed of y'all goddamn self. Y'all should be ashamed. But anyways, man, let's get into, since the rankings already dropped, let's get into next week's games. Let's see the matchups, who's playing where and what. Obviously, Miami's not playing this week, guys. We're on a bye week. Time to, get our house in order, take care of some of the knickknacks, let some guys recover and all that good stuff. But this upcoming week, week 7, top 25 matchups. Top 25 matchups. Obviously, we're going to run through them because some of them, the spread is not going to be out yet. We're not going to know which team's is favorite in this, that, and the third. But to start it off in the top 25 matchup games, Utah versus Arizona State on a Friday night. Utah versus Arizona State on a Friday night. Then, to kick it off, you got the number 7 team in the country, which is Alabama, versus South Carolina. This game is in Tuscaloosa. I could say this right now. If Alabama loses this game at home to South Carolina, which I don't believe they will, but the boy, they're going to want your head, my guy. I'm pretty sure they want your head for losing to Vanderbilt. That's one thing the SEC team don't do, is lose to Vanderbilt. And they fan base, won't turn on them. I think Nick Saban said it in one of those interviews where if you could go find it somewhere. Vanderbilt is like a non-challenge to them because it's like another home game. You're going to have more fans at Vanderbilt games than they do. And which was true. A lot of Alabama fans traveled to Vanderbilt to watch Alabama get beat by Vanderbilt. That's tough. I got Alabama bouncing back on that one. But at this point in college football, what I've been seeing for the past couple weeks, nothing surprised me. Nothing will surprise me. 12 o'clock game, ESPN. Clemson versus Wake Forest. I got Clemson rolling in that one. Clemson win versus Florida State last night was a little disappointing to me. I wanted them to absolutely, annihilate Florida State, but I think Dabo is looking at a bigger picture. If I annihilate them, they might cripple Norvell, and they might try to get rid of Norvell. I need Norvell to stay in Tallahassee as long as possible so I can get these easy dubs. So, every time we stroll in to play them or they come to us, it's easy coochie. Plain and simple. That's it. That's it. Um, Missouri versus UMass. I think Missouri bounced back this week. Well needed, game after being pummeled by Texas A&M. They'll knock them off. Red River rivalry. Red River rivalry. Texas versus Oklahoma. Now, Oklahoma did knock off Texas in this one last year, even when Texas was favored and all that other stuff. This one is in Dallas. Obviously, Oklahoma only got one loss so far. But at the end of the day, they could still end up knocking off Texas. This is a rivalry game. Anything goes. I think Texas is the better team, plain and simple. But you could throw all that out the window. They're going to show up to play each other. This is going to get brutal unless one of them runs away with it. But Texas is a 14.5-point favorite. We'll see. Penn State versus USC. This one is in Cal. I can't really say that I trust Cal. I don't know if they could knock off Penn State. This is one of those games that I would stay away from. Obviously, there's no spread on it yet. Who knows? Maybe USC will play a little bit better at home. Maybe you'll see that kind of USC that you saw against LSU when they're at home. But that's going to be a tough matchup too. It's going to be a good game to watch, in my opinion. Stanford versus Notre Dame. I'll take Notre Dame for the win. I won't say Notre Dame's blowing out anybody because I still got PSD from them losing to Northern Illinois. Even though they've bounced back since they beat guys like Louisville and stuff like that, I still can't really trust Notre Dame or say, definitively that they're going to win a game outright. So that's going to be an interesting matchup. Stanford's already 2-3 on the season. They haven't really packed it up yet. They're still playing, football. They still got some kind of hopes, maybe make a bowl game. So who knows? Cal versus Pitt. Pitt 5-0. Cal travels to Pitt. That's going to be an interesting one. Playing against Cal yesterday, I see they got some fight in them. They got some fight in them. They're not as trash as everybody made them out to be, even though they did lose to the trashiest team in the country in Florida State. They made mistakes against Florida State. I still stand on the subject that they should have beat Florida State. Florida State should be 0-6 right now. But nonetheless, I want to see them. I'm going to watch this matchup versus Pitt. I definitely need to see what Pitt's working with. Plain and simple. I got a glimpse of it versus North Carolina, but I wasn't really paying attention too much. It was better games on that I was watching. So I want to see this game. I want to see how Pitt do. Right now they're 5-0, so they're an interesting ACC opponent to keep an eye on. Right now they're like a dark horse that nobody's paying attention to. And I ain't trying to get snuck up on, even though we are the better team in the ACC right now. Ain't trying to get snuck up on. Illinois versus Purdue. Illinois, of course. Ain't nothing to talk about. BYU versus Arizona. That's a game up in Utah. I'll probably just take BYU. Don't really know much about neither one of these two. I've seen BYU beat SMU. They fought hard in that one. That's the only thing I could really go off. So, and they're 5-0, so obviously they're finding ways to win games. I'll stay away from that one. It's probably interesting to you Big 12 fans, but yeah. Georgia versus Mississippi State. Georgia will roll. Georgia's at home. They'll knock them out. Nothing to see there. This is a team that lost to the Florida Gators. Just to sum it up for you guys. Take Georgia to win. Florida versus Tennessee. Florida versus Tennessee. Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm taking Tennessee for the win. Bounce back week. If Florida go in there and put up a fight, and they actually pull off one, I won't be surprised. I'm telling you guys now. This is who Tennessee is, man. This is who they is. Every year they hyped up. For the past couple of years now, they've been hyped up, and then for some odd reason they can't get over the hump against some of these teams. I'm gonna take Tennessee for the win, but if they lose to Florida, I will not be surprised. If Florida goes in there and knock off Tennessee, there's a path where Florida could possibly end up winning 6 games this year. They could possibly be bowl eligible. If they knock off Tennessee, that's 4 wins, guaranteed win against Florida State, and Kentucky probably be the next winnable game for them if they could get Kentucky. So they could probably end up bowl eligible if they win this game. I don't think Florida's winning. Sorry, baby Liz. I don't mean to get your hopes up. Game of the week. Game of the week. This right here will determine where the Big Ten is going. You got the number 2 team in Ohio State. You got the number 3 team in Oregon. I won't be surprised. I'm not sure if where is game day this week? Where is game day this week? Will they take game day to Oregon and Ohio? Or where is this? This is in Oregon. Obviously, these are Big Ten teams. I don't know if ESPN want to go to Big Ten teams or whatever this week, but nonetheless, Oregon. This game is being hosted in Oregon. Ohio State versus Oregon. This game right here is going to set the tone for the Big Ten. Last week, it was Alabama versus Georgia. You saw what happened. And the next week, you seen what just happened to Alabama. I don't think in this case that'll happen to Ohio State or Oregon. But nonetheless, let's check out their schedule. Let's just say Ohio State wins this one. Their next matchup will be against Nebraska. Do you think Nebraska could knock off, Ohio State after they just got done beating the number 3 team in Oregon? Because if that's the case, that's the same thing that happens with Alabama. Not only after that, they do still have to play Penn State, who's looking pretty strong this year. Can Penn State actually get over the Michigan and the Ohio State hump this season? Can Franklin get over the hump of Ohio State and Michigan this season? We'll see. Yeah. Let's check out Oregon. After they play Ohio State, who else do they have on this schedule that could possibly, cause some ruckus? Let's check out Oregon. Who do they have next? Who's up next? So let's just say Oregon pulls it off. They knock off Ohio State. Purdue. They play Purdue next. Now, obviously, Purdue is trash, garbage, basura. But if Purdue can do what Vanderbilt do, because Vanderbilt, let's just say it, plain and simple, they are like one of the worst teams in the country. They're like one of the worst teams in the country. Wait, what happened? T2Y Henry Lee asked for the link, but he called you a green ass, and YouTube blocked it. Okay. Yeah, Henry Lee, you gotta stop cussing, man. YouTube will block you if you cuss and all that. Just know that I ain't block you. I ain't block you. So for whenever they let you comment or back in the chat or whatever, the link is in the chat. You can click it. You can come on. But anyways, yeah, Purdue. If Purdue were to knock off Oregon after Oregon just beat Ohio State, that is what you call total chaos. That is what you call total chaos. But if you look at the rest of Oregon's schedule, Illinois, Michigan, Maryland, Wisconsin, and Washington, of course. Ohio, if they can knock off Ohio State, it's almost like a free ride to the Big Ten championship. So this matchup is going to be a lot this week. A lot is at stake. Ohio State versus Oregon. I think these are the matchups that the Big Ten wanted when they brought in USC, Oregon, Washington, UCLA. These are the matchups that they were looking for. Your Oregon's versus Ohio States, Oregon versus Michigan, those kind of games. And they're going to get it. They're going to get it in week 7. I can't wait to see that game. Now, obviously, that's a primetime game that's on NBC. The whole world could watch it with an antenna. As long as you got some signal in the air, you can watch that. You don't need no streaming service. You don't need no cable. You don't need no dish network. None of that. So this is going to be a primetime TV for any and everybody. That's tough. Good luck to them. Primetime on ABC. You got Ole Miss versus LSU. This game is being played in Baton Rouge. LSU versus Ole Miss. You got Brian Kelly versus Lane Kiffin. Ole Miss comes into this game the number 9 team in the country. LSU the number 13. 2 ranked opponents, 2 SEC opponents. As of right now, LSU is undefeated in SEC play. They 1-0. As you guys know, Kentucky knocked off Ole Miss. Ole Miss bounced back this week against South Carolina, 27-3. Can LSU beat Ole Miss? Because if at this point, there's no coming back for Ole Miss in the SEC, in my opinion, if they lose this game. I think this is make or break for Ole Miss. They already got one SEC loss. If they go on to lose 2 now, I think they're pretty much out of it. I think if in the SEC this season, if you're not undefeated in that conference or have just 1 loss, you might just be out of it. You might just be out of it. Unless chaos happen where everybody start losing. But like I said, I think 1 loss is as much as you're going to get into the SEC championship. So if Ole Miss lose this game, they might be out of it. Now, if they were to knock off LSU, both of them would be sitting at 1 conference loss each, and they probably still would be somewhat in the running for it. So this is a must-win for Ole Miss, in my opinion. They are the higher-ranked team, but they are going on the road. This might be a shootout. Who knows? That's going to be an interesting matchup. You got Iowa State versus West Virginia. Iowa State versus West Virginia. This is in Morgantown, West Virginia. Big 12 matchup. Both teams undefeated in Big 12 play. Iowa State obviously coming in at number 11. More than likely, they'll probably be the favorite by not much, maybe. Interesting matchup. Don't know too much about both of these teams to really say who I would go with. So I'm going to stay away from that. I'll probably wait until the odd makers put out the spread and all that. Then it'll probably be a lot more clear who they're favored and why. But I'll stay away from that one. Don't know too much. Late night game, 10:15. This one probably be done just the same around the same time the Miami game got done last night. So obviously, I'm not staying up to watch Colorado versus Kansas State. Plain and simple. Probably watch the first half of it and wake up to a surprise in the morning. That's it. Both teams are 4-1. Obviously, Colorado is 2-0 in Big 12 play. 2-0. They beat Baylor. They beat UCF. They got Kansas State. Kansas State is ranked number 18 in the country as of right now. I think if Deion Sanders, Shiloh, Shedeur Sanders, and probably the Heisman highest candidate right now in Travis Hunter. I think if they could get this win, they'll probably be ranked next week. They'll be sitting at 5-1, 3-0 in conference. Obviously, some of the other teams in the top, 25 probably gonna get some shakeups. We've seen it every week now, so it won't be surprising. I think this week, if Colorado could actually knock off Kansas State, which they are at home in Boulder, sold out crowd, everything. If they can knock off Kansas at home, which by the way, Kansas State is a 6-point favorite, they'll be ranked. I think they'll be ranked in the top 25. But we'll see. Boise State, as of right now, they're ranked number 17. The group of 5, they're leading for possible playoffs or whatever. As long as they keep winning, they got Hawaii next. I think they'll win that one. So as long as Boise State wins, keep winning, the group of 5 automatic bid, I think they'll get it. But nonetheless, it's changed almost every week for the group of 5s. Right now, Boise State is holding it down 2 weeks in a row. Obviously, you just saw UNLV got knocked out by Syracuse. So, group of 5. Boise State leading for that group of 5 right now. But those are your top 25 matchups. Top 25 matchups. Let's go into the ACC and see who plays this week. What kind of shakeup can we expect? Obviously, the standings and who's going to try to represent the ACC. Clearly, Georgia Tech versus North Carolina. Oh man, this is a tough one to pick. I'm gonna go with Georgia Tech. I would hate to pick against North Carolina to lose 4 straight games, but the way they've been playing this season, I can see it happen. So I'm gonna go with Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech also had a strong win yesterday against Duke, Manny Diaz and Duke. So I'm gonna go with Georgia Tech on this one. I'm gonna take Notre Dame. We already talked about those. Louisville versus Virginia. This game is in Virginia. Virginia is 4-1 right now, 2-0 in ACC play. Louisville, after this game, they take on Miami. Now, I'm not quite sure if Louisville is going to be looking forward to Miami. They do have some players from the Miami Hurricanes over there at Louisville. Don Chaney, Skinner, the tight end, he transferred over there too, and some other guys. So, not quite sure where to go with this one. But if Virginia can pull it off at home against Louisville, which I'm going to take Louisville for the win. But if Virginia could pull it off against Louisville, this game against Miami next week, probably going to be on ACC Network, probably going to be, a 12 o'clock game or something. They haven't put out the time for it yet. Actually, I got to double check on the schedule to see if they did put out the time. But we are on a bye week this week. So we'll see. They're probably going to determine what time we play them based on this game. Can Louisville pull it off? If Louisville lose this game, more than likely it'll probably be an ACC Network game, or it'll probably be one of those, 3:30 games or whatever, somewhere in there. It definitely won't be prime time. So, yeah. Syracuse versus NC State. I'll take Syracuse for the win. NC State, to me, they're pretty much washed for the rest of the season. They're pretty much washed. That's it for the ACC, man. This week is going to be a real boring week in the ACC. Not going to lie to you. It's going to be a real boring week. Let's go into the Big 12. Teams that play in the Big 12 outside of the top 25. Cincinnati, UCF. Both teams 1-1, 3-2 on total record. This game is in Orlando, Florida. I'm going to take UCF for a bounce back. Obviously, tough game yesterday against the Florida Gators. They still hung in there. I'm gonna just take them to beat Cincinnati. Bounce back week for them. Arizona, BYU, we talked about, and Colorado and all of them. Yeah. So outside, there's only one game that's unranked, and that's Cincinnati versus UCF. I'm gonna take the Knights. UCF fans, y'all been pleasant so far. I'm gonna roll with y'all this week until otherwise. Friday night game in the Big Ten. You got Northwestern versus Maryland. Maryland 3-2, 0-2 in conference. Northwestern 2-3, 0-2 in conference. So one of them will get a conference win. I'm a betting man, but I would not bet on this game. Both of them, this one probably could go either way. If I had to lean, I would lean with Maryland. So Maryland is at home at College Park. So that would probably be just it. But I'm staying away from that. Iowa versus Washington. Iowa's at home. Iowa's a 3.5-point favorite. Obviously, Washington knocked off Michigan yesterday. Michigan don't really have a quarterback, so I don't know what to make of that. But I'm going to take Washington for the upset. I think they could pull it off 2 weeks in a row. Washington for the upset. This might be my upset of the week, guys. Washington over Iowa. Upset of the week. Washington over Iowa. Rutgers versus Wisconsin. Interesting. Rutgers at home. Wisconsin coming off a terrible loss. Wisconsin lost TVD. Man, this is a tough one to call. Rutgers coming off of, a terrible loss, a devastating loss, a hard-fought loss to none other than Nebraska. I think I'm going to take Rutgers for this win. They are at home. I think they bounce back this week. I think Wisconsin's season is pretty much washed. Minnesota, UCLA. This game is played in UCLA. I think I'm going to take UCLA to get their second win of the season at home against Minnesota. I think this is a bounce-back game for them. Nothing much to say about it. Obviously, I don't have too much data or I haven't watched neither one of these two teams up close to really, make a definite, more deciding decision. But I'm just going to roll with UCLA at home. Long travel for, Minnesota. Late night game, 9 o'clock. One of those long ones. You kind of seen what happened when you played those late games, as a Miami Hurricane fan. I think I'm going to just go ahead and take UCLA. That's tough. Minnesota might have a little bit of jet lag. Ain't that right, Florida State? Might be some jet lag. All right. SEC. Let's roll into the SEC. Games that are not ranked. This week. Vanderbilt versus Kentucky. That's the only unranked matchup in the SEC this week. Vanderbilt versus Kentucky. 3-2, both of them. Vanderbilt is 1-1 in conference play. I wonder who that one conference win was. But that's tough. Kentucky already lost 2 in conference. This is a home game for Kentucky. Now, I know Vanderbilt knocked off Alabama yesterday, and I know everybody want to ride the Vanderbilt train, but I'm going to take Kentucky at home for the win. I think yesterday's game was what it was. Vanderbilt knocks off Alabama, the number 1 team in the country, and then everything goes back to normal again. They'll start losing a couple games here and there. Obviously, the 2 losses that they have from what we've seen earlier has been close games. Nonetheless, they lost them. They lost to Georgia Southern or Georgia State, one of it. So they still who they are. Nice win against Alabama. I don't think this is going to be the start of something beautiful or whatever. I think that was a nice little, okay, we got them, and back to reality. I'm going to take Kentucky for the win. If Vanderbilt could go out there and prove me wrong, for all the Vanderbilt fans out there, I don't believe there's any of y'all that's watching right now. I don't believe there's any of y'all that's watching right now. But if y'all beat Kentucky this week, I would not pick against y'all for the rest of the year. I will not pick against y'all for the rest of the year. If y'all beat Kentucky, I will not pick against y'all for the rest of the year. That's tough. Anyways, man, that's it. That's your preview. Appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in, hitting the like button on YouTube, subscribing to the channel, all that good stuff. Miami got the dub last night. That's all that mattered. We won by a point. We had to climb back 25 points down. Cardiac Kane style. All of us probably thought we lost going into that fourth quarter. Miracle on Elm Street, baby. Miracle. It was a miracle. We went to Cal. The whole Cope versus woke thing, that's over with. We moving on. Moving on, baby. Louisville is up next. We on a bye week this week. Let's get things together. We're the number 6 team in the country now. We still got a Heisman candidate in Cam Ward, threw for 400 and something yards yesterday. Restrepo still being Restrepo, laying it down out there, making the reliable catches, making big plays. It is what it is. Defense need a little work, but nonetheless, we still getting wins. We're still undefeated. It is what it is. This bye week, we need to put in some work, plain and simple. That's it. Y'all guys, enjoy the rest of y'all day. We 6-0, baby. We 6-0. Florida fans, don't say nothing to me. You know what? Florida fans, I did make y'all a promise. I did say, you know what? Y'all could talk to me again when y'all are above 500. You're above 500 right now. Florida State fans, don't say nothing to me. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. I will treat you like a peasant. Do not talk to me. Don't say nothing to me. I don't want to talk to you. Don't talk to me. I'm 6-0. You don't deserve to be in my presence. I'm being a prick to all you Florida State fans. Don't say nothing to me. Don't talk to me. You don't deserve to be in the same vicinity as me. I'm 6-0. You 1-5. Don't talk to me. I don't want your breath on me. I don't want you talking. I don't want no spit coming out your mouth that could touch me. I want y'all away from me. Stay away from me, Florida State fans. Right now, I'm 6-0. I don't need to be around y'all losers. I don't need y'all loserness rubbing off on me. Stay away from me, Florida State fans. Leave me alone. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Don't call my phone. None of that. I don't need none of y'all bad luck. I don't need none of y'all suckiness rubbing off on this 6-0 Hurricane. Stay away from me. Leave me alone. Don't tweet me. Don't answer none of my tweets. Don't retweet none of my tweets. I don't need none of y'all around me, period. I'm going to treat y'all like I treat the Miami Dolphins. Us Miami Hurricanes, we need to get away from y'all. Y'all are losers. That's tough. Listen, man. All my Miami Hurricane fans that are Dolphin fans, that's tough. That's tough, my guy. Hey, we share one thing in common, the mighty goddamn Hurricane. But anyways, appreciate y'all, man. Y'all go out, have a good day. Remember, stay away from losers. Stay away from losers and teams that